Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss Christy, your pace artist. Today we are going to make something for Mother's Day. It's coming up. It is every year on the second Sunday of May, and we celebrate the mothers and grandmothers, maybe our aunt or one of our caretakers that we love dearly, and we give them something as a gift of appreciation for all of the love that they give us. So we're going to be making them a small bouquet of flowers, just 2 flowers, in a very pretty vase. We're going to be practicing folding paper and cutting paper. We're going to be drawing the shapes we've been learning about all year. We'll talk a little bit about color. And the supplies you'll need for this project are 3 different colored pieces of paper. You'll need a white piece of construction paper, a green piece of paper, and a yellow piece of paper. You'll also need crayons and scissors and a glue stick for this lesson. If you don't have a glue stick, you can use liquid glue. But remember, with liquid glue, you only need a tiny, tiny dot of glue. Little tiny glue dots. With a glue stick, you need to put plenty of glue stick on there so that it'll stick. Teachers, if there's ever a time when students need to catch up, please feel free to pause. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to make is our vase for our flowers. You'll need your white piece of construction paper for that first. I have mine here. What we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, landscape, or horizontally. So when we do that, we're going to fold it in half, meeting up those corners. It doesn't have to be perfectly matched up on the corners. We just want to fold it in half. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing this and then cutting it out while it's folded so that we have 2 sides of our vase, and it'll help hold those flowers up. So I have mine up here on the wall. You'll have yours down on your table. We're going to start with a blue crayon. Boys and girls, I want you to write your name on the back of your white piece of paper. This is going to be the start of our project. So everyone, I want you to use your blue crayon first, and I want you to write your name. So I am going to write my name on mine. What is your name? Write it very neatly. There you go. See, I'm writing mine. See, I wrote my name. Did you write your name? Good. Okay, that way we know whose artwork is whose. So we're going to have our paper folded in half, kind of like a card, but instead of it being a card, we're going to be drawing a vase. So watch me first and then you try. We're going to start over here on the left-hand side, and you're going to put your finger on that top left corner. Did you find it? Okay. So then we're going to trace our finger down just a little bit and come across to the middle. We're going to draw a straight line across. Can you see that? A straight horizontal line across. There. Next, we're going to draw a wavy line. Now, don't do it yet. I want you to think about, what does a wavy line look like? I want you to hold your crayon up in the air, and I want you to do some waves, just so that you can remember what that feels like. We're only going to do one wave. Are you ready? We're going to go in toward the middle and then back out toward the edge. And you can go all the way to the other side of the paper. Did you see that? It's in toward the middle and then out toward the other side of the page. Did you get it? All right. Now, if you have any trouble doing this, it's okay. Everybody's vase might look a little bit different, and that's what we want. Everyone's artwork is unique. So if you decided to do something different like this, that's okay too. So go to the right side of your straight line and do the same thing that you did on the other side. You're going to go toward the middle, and you can stop if you want. It's a curved line. You see that? But we're going to turn it into a wavy line because we're going to go out toward the edge and then back down. Can you see that? Can you see that it's a vase? So I'm going to draw a line across the bottom. And there's my vase. Some of you might have different shapes. Some of you might have it to where it's like this. Some of you might have it to where it's just straight down. And that's okay. It's your vase for your flowers. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw some decorations on this vase. Watch me do a few lines and then you try. So up here toward the top, I'm going to put a curved line. Do you see that? Kind of like a necklace. Did you do that? It's a little bit like a smiley face line. And let's do another one of those down at the bottom. A big smiley face curved line. Now we're going to draw a zigzag line on top of that. Remember our zigzag lines? That's right. Did you get it? Zigzag, 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 zigzag. The zigzag has those points. Next, draw a line over the top of your zigs and zags. Very good. Next, we're going to draw a wavy line right here in the middle. Can you see that? I drew a little wavy line, and this is going to be some more decoration for our vase. You try that. Then we're going to give it some leaves. That's just some ovals. Just a few. And that's it. There's our vase. Did you finish? Okay. The last step. Oh, snap. The last step is to take a white crayon. Find a white crayon. So usually when we color over a white piece of paper with white crayon, we can't really see it. But we're going to see it because we're going to color over the blue. And you're just going to keep coloring over that blue and you're going to smudge it. You're going to be smudging the blue. Can you see that? How it's starting to smudge my little decoration here? And I usually say no chicken scratch, but in this case it's okay. You can do chicken scratch. You just want to color over all those blue lines with a white crayon. Try to go over as much of the blue as you can. And it's okay if you go out of the lines because we're going to be cutting this out. Do you see how it's smudging the blue a little bit? That's it. Keep going. All right. I'll give you one more minute to do that. We're just smudging those blue lines. Okay, so if you've colored all over your paper, all around and all over the blue should look really smudged. And that's what we want. We want it to look like it was painted with real paint. All right, so now you're going to grab your scissors and let's do a little bit of cutting. Each time we make one of our parts of our project, we're going to put it aside after we're done. This lesson is all about taking different parts and putting them together to create a whole. So you're going to go ahead and get your scissors and cut out your vase. You're going to keep it folded. Remember, we folded it. We're going to keep it folded. Did everybody hear that? What are we going to do? We're going to keep it folded, yes. So go ahead and start cutting out your vase. I'm going to go around the whole thing. And keep your scraps because we're going to be using these scraps for something else. And see, I have two pieces that we're going to glue together. Did you get it? So I have these two pieces. Remember, your name should be on the back of one of them. Okay. We're going to move on to our flowers. You're going to put your vase aside and you're going to put your scissors aside when you're done. And then we're going to work with the green construction paper. Are you ready? I have my piece here and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it, okay? So you go ahead and do that. Match up those corners and fold your green piece of paper. That's it. Now, this time we're going to be cutting out first some rectangles and then some leaf shapes. And we're going to draw all of these shapes to where there's going to be two of them to make them a little bit stronger. So you're going to use a green crayon. Do you have a green crayon? Good. And you're going to position your paper to where the fold is at the bottom. Can you do that? Find the fold where it's folded and you're going to fold it up. Can you see that? Fold it to where the fold is at the bottom. Did everybody do that? Okay, so on the right side at the bottom of our fold, we're going to draw two rectangles. We're going to start at the bottom and we're going to go up and over and down. Can you do that? Now, we don't want our stem to be so wide that it won't fit. So if we draw it too wide, kind of like I did, then you're going to put a line down the middle and there's your two stems. If you made a skinny stem, you don't have to do that. You want your stem to be as wide as your little finger. You can put it in there and see, it's just the same size as my finger. Can you do that? Okay. Now, over here on the left, we're going to draw two leaves. We're going to draw, what shape are leaves? Do you know? They're kind of ovals, yes, they're kind of football shaped. Some of them are long and skinny, and some of them are wide. You see that? It's kind of a football shape. I think I'm also going to make some long skinny ones. All right, so what's going to happen when we cut this out and it's folded? Do you know? We're going to have two pieces. So you go ahead and try that. You're going to cut it out, keep it folded, and you're going to cut it out. Go ahead and cut out your leaves. And remember, keep the paper folded. So this leaf, if I open it up, there's two leaves there. So you go ahead and work on that. So we finished our vase and our leaves and our stems. And now we're going to draw our flowers. And we're going to start with a rose. So I have some pictures here to show you of roses. And in this picture, you can see that the first one, the rose, isn't open yet. It's called a rose bud. Then very, very slowly the roses open up, and then you see what you see in number 2, that rose has started to open. And then at the end, the rose has opened all the way, and the bees can get inside to the pollen. So we're going to create a rose first. We're going to start with a red crayon. We're going to be working on our yellow paper. Let's get started. So we're going to be creating our rose up here at the top, and we're going to create a daisy down at the bottom. So first, at the top, we're going to draw an oval. You go ahead and do that. The oval should be big enough, but not too big, because then it'll flop over. Remember, we want our roses to stand up. We want our flowers to stand up. So it should be no bigger than the inside of your hand, right here. Now, after you've drawn your oval, at the top of the oval, we're going to draw a new line. We haven't talked about this line very much. It's called a spiral. You could also think of it as a swirl. So we're going to draw a spiral at the top. Watch me first and then you try. Right up here, you're going to start, and it's like making an oval at the top. So you go ahead and try making that oval at the top of the oval that you first drew. See how it goes from side to side inside of this oval? And then you're going to keep going to the middle, around and around and around. Did you catch that? That's a spiral, a line that goes around and around and around. I'm going to draw that spiral. You don't have to do that. I just wanted you to know what it looked like and how it was spelled. So we're going to draw this swirly line right at the top of our rose. After you've completed that, we're going to draw a few more petals. So we're going to draw another oval off. We're going to start here at the bottom of this oval, and we're going to draw another one. And then another one. So we're going to draw two ovals. One here and one here. And it's okay if you can see this line. We're going to color over that. That's it. And you can put a few more back here if you want to, some more petals. The most important thing is that swirl at the top and these 2 petals in the front. After you get that, go ahead and color it in a little bit. Here in the front, at the bottom of the rose. Just a little bit. So you can see my rose is red and yellow, like my Tropicana roses at home. All right. So after you get that drawn in, did you get it? The next step is we're going to take another crayon. If you used red, maybe this time use orange or yellow. We're using all warm colors for our roses. So go ahead and grab an orange crayon and color in some of that rose with orange. You don't have to color it in all the way, just a little bit. Did you get it? Okay. So where a rose connects at the bottom is called the, what's it called? Sepal, I think. We're going to draw the little place where the stem attaches. So we're actually going to draw another shape. We're going to draw a triangle, a green triangle. Can you do that? Grab your green crayon, and at the bottom of your rose, draw a green triangle. And then color it in. That's it. That green triangle also has some little leaves that come off of it. And we're just going to put some little curved lines there. Okay, and this is where our stem is going to attach when we glue it on. The next shape, I want you to use an orange crayon for. Find your orange crayon when you're done with the base of your rose, and we're going to draw a circle. Now this circle shouldn't be too big. It should be about the size of a quarter. Maybe the cap of a water bottle, and we're going to draw that down here. See that? You go ahead and try that. We're only going to be making 2 flowers, but I bet sometimes you wish you could give your mom or your grandmother a whole field of flowers. So I have this picture up here of a field of sunflowers. I would like to give my mom a whole field of flowers. I think she'd like that. Find your scissors and cut out these shapes. It's a good idea to cut out the whole thing from the big piece of paper, so that it's a smaller piece of paper and it doesn't flop over on you. It's much easier to cut out. So you just cut that out as best you can. So now I have all my pieces, all the parts to put together. So we're going to start with the one that has your name on the back. Do you have that? Okay, this one's mine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put mine up here. And we're going to start by gluing on our stem. So we have our stems that are folded. If yours got cut off at the bottom, you're just going to be gluing 2 of these together with the leaves. So I have the back of my vase up here, and I'm going to glue on my first stem. So I'm going to put a line of glue, and then I'm going to glue the stem on. Don't worry about it being unglued, the stem being unglued. We're going to glue the flower to it. Second one, we're going to put another line of glue, and we're going to glue that on. All right. So we're going to give them enough room so that they can fit. Maybe your rose is a little taller. I'm going to do my rose first with the oval shaped leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these leaves, I'm going to put a dot of glue right here, right above the vase, and I'm going to put these leaves there. See that? Then I'm also going to put a glue dot right there for my rose, and I'm going to put my rose there. I'm going to put some glue over the top of that, and then I'm going to fold my stem over the top. Can you see that? All right. I'm going to pull my flower up just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the daisy. Now, the scraps from when we cut out the vase is going to be the daisy petals. Now, what color are the petals of the daisy? They're white, and they're little tiny oval shapes. So I had this leftover piece from the white vase. And so I cut off, I'm going to cut it into small strips of paper like this. You probably only need about 3 or 4 little strips of white paper for the daisy petals. There. So I have 3 of them. I have 3, and I'm going to put them all together so that and then I'm going to hold them in the middle, and I'm going to cut in the middle so that I have 6. I'm going to use the long skinny leaves that I made, and I'm going to glue that on my stem right here, just like I did with the rose, right in the middle on the inside of the fold. And I'm gonna keep my leaves kind of at a V. Can you see that? I made a V with those leaves, and I'm gonna glue that on, just like that. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue up here where the flower is gonna go, and I'm gonna also get ready to close my stem over it. So for your daisy, you're going to be gluing your petals to the back of your little yellow circle. So I'm going to put mine up here on the board. You can't see my little polka dots. I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to apply some glue to the circle, my little white strips of paper, and I'm going to glue them around the circle. Since it's on the back, it's okay if they overlap over the top of it. And after you're done, after you like the way that it looks, you're going to flip it over so that this is the side that we'll see in your vase. Now, the last part is to glue the decorated side of your vase. So I'm going to go over this whole thing with my glue stick. And I'm going to glue that on. This is our Mother's Day present. We made a vase with 2 layers, one on top of the other. We glued things together to make them a little bit stronger. The idea is that when parts come together, they make a whole. So maybe in math you've learned about fractions, half, quarter, and whole. Here we have different pieces that came together to make one whole beautiful piece of art. I want to thank you for being with me today for this project. I hope you have a great Mother's Day weekend, and make sure that you give them this beautiful project that we made.